Our story begins with the original settlers of Kona. Eastern Kentucky was closed to many settlers before 1800. This was due to several treaties between the colonies of the USA, France, Great Britain, and the Native Americans. While our coverage of these wars and treaties are not extensive, they are a very general overview of the time of the colonies wanted to settle westward. The French and Indian War, from 1754 to 1763, was a 7-year war between Great Britain, France, Spain, and Portugal. In this conflict, the issue was who owned the Ohio Valley and who could have trade relations with the Native Americans. The Treaty of Paris in 1763 was the formal declaration of peace between France, Great Britain, Spain, and Portugal. This was due to the ceasefire of the 7 Years' War that raged over who owned what land in the new colonies. The Proclamation of 1763 was declared by the British Crown at the end of the French and Indian War. This was declared to put a halt to the encroachment of settlers on Native American lands. The Indians' War of Independence coincided with the American Revolutionary War. Like their colonial counterparts, this was a declaration by the Native American nations to declare their independence from the rule of Great Britain. While their fight is ongoing today over certain aspects of the rule over the First Nations, their freedom from Great Britain was established at this time. Lord Dunmore's War happened in 1774 and was a conflict between Colony of Virginia and the Shawnee and Mingo Native American tribal nations. Basically, Lord Dunmore, John Murray, wanted to remove the human obstacles to colonial conquest of the Appalachian Mountains. In May 1790, Dr. Thomas Walker and in September of the same year Christopher Gist were the first parties to enter the area with white settlers into the forbidding mountains of the Appalachians. They came into the area through the Cumberland Gap and the Pineville Gap. As early as 1835, a trail had been established and the Kona area made a good stopping point for the settlers to camp and restock their supplies. This was one of the jumping off points for the settlers that were going to the west or returning east for supplies. It was also sometime during this time period that Daniel Boone would carve his letters into a beech tree. The letters were DB 1781. This tree stood on the east bank of the Boone Fork for many years. Sometime in 1916 the tree was photographed, then chopped down and split for its wood with the permission of W. H. Potter, the owner of the land at that time. The person who cut down the tree was R. L. Pilling, a lumber dealer. The first known local family that settled into the Kona area was the Bates family. It is said that they are the first who traveled to Missouri in the early 1800s and returned to the mountains later. They settled on the west side of the Boone Creek opposite of the Boone Tree and the Settlers' Traveler Camp. They would gradually increase their land holdings to several hundred acres all around the North and Boone Forks of Letcher County. Letcher County was once part of Perry, Pike, and Harlan counties. The residents of the area wanted to be their own county. In 1842, the residents of the area petitioned the Kentucky State Legislature. In this petition, the residents asked for permission to form a new county with a government. To garner support for the new county, they sent a petition to Governor Robert P. Letcher. The act for the creation of Letcher County would be enacted on April 1st, 1842. The General Assembly of the Commonwealth of the State of Kentucky named the new county Letcher after Governor Letcher, who supported the act. Summit City would be named as the county seat, and the name would later be changed to Whitesburg. Captain Martin Van Buren Bates was born November 9, 1845. We are aware that the date of birth is disputed among the Bates family members and historians. What is not disputed is that he did serve as a captain during the Civil War. He was also a peer of P.T. Barnum. He was also honored and received by Queen Victoria of Great Britain and other royal members. He is also recorded in the Guinness Book of World Records as being the tallest man, and also being half of the tallest married couple. His wife was Anna Swan Bates, the tallest woman on record, and for being the father of the largest baby ever born. W. H. Potter applied for a post office at the mouth of Boone Fork. This was granted, and Potter became the first postmaster of the office. He was allowed to name the post office, and he chose the name Mater, meaning mother in Latin. This was accepted by the Postal Department and was used from 1921 through 1922. The Winston Construction Company of Virginia and the Mason and Hanger Construction Company of Richmond, Virginia, began construction of a railway. They graded a long, deep cut below Kona and a smaller cut above Kona to make way for the tracks to be laid. The railroad opened for operations in the year 1912 through 1913. W. H. Potter had deeded the L&N Railroad about 1 mile of right-of-way through his land with the condition that the station would be provided near his home. The railroad refused to use the name Mater as its name of its station. Potter then suggested the name of Lula after one of his daughters, and the name was accepted and used for 6 to 8 months. However, there was already a post office and station with the name of Lula, Kentucky. So then Kona was suggested for the name and then accepted. The name means in Hawaiian leeward, or dry side of an island. There is a Kona, Japan, and a Kona, Africa. In 1937, Consolidation Coal Company purchased another tract of land to add to the railway. This additional tract would extend the Consol's holdings to the top of Pine Mountain at the Virginia border for 3 miles. The area around Kona ebbed and waned with the coal industry. As soon as the coal would come off of the rails and be run out of the area on coal trucks, the tracks would be lifted and the land would stand silent once again. There are many residents of Kona, Kentucky, and they are very proud of their elementary school called Martha Jane Potter. For many years, it was considered to be the best place to send your children for their education. While still very small in population, there are many who still enjoy living in this very small community. Thank you for watching our video and reading our post, Birth of Kona, Kentucky. We thank you for continuing to support Kentucky Tennessee Living as we bring to you the history of the Appalachian Mountains. Please like, subscribe, and share below. Also hit the bell for notifications of future videos. And once again, be sure to leave us a "Hey y'all" in the comment section below. Thank you for continuing to support us and watch our videos.